In an era obsessed with complex technology, safety regulations, and digital screens, one British company dared to ask a radical question. What if we took everything away? This is the history of Ariel Motor Company, a name resurrected from a long-lost past, built on the principle of extreme minimalism and pure driving engagement. Their story is a powerful testament to the idea that the greatest performance comes from shedding weight, not just adding power. The modern Ariel story begins not in a corporate headquarters, but in the halls of academia. The founder, Simon Saunders, a former Royal College of Art graduate and transportation designer, harbored a vision for a lightweight, track-focused machine. Saunders was heavily inspired by the philosophy of Colin Chapman of Lotus, the idea that adding lightness is the only true route to speed. His vision crystallized around the idea of a completely exposed, visually raw vehicle. The crucial step was the association with Solent University, then Southampton Institute, in the early 1990s. Saunders began working with student engineers, using the academic environment to rigorously develop the foundational concept for the vehicle that would become the Atom. The new company was formally established, reviving the historic Ariel name, which had been defunct since the 1970s. The original Ariel was known primarily for motorcycles, but the new company sought to transfer that legacy of innovation and engineering focus to four wheels. The primary influence for the design was the exoskeleton chassis. The decision was made to entirely forego body panels, roof, and doors, leaving the intricate, load-bearing steel tube frame completely exposed. This was both a visual statement and a functional commitment to reducing mass. The first vehicle to truly embody this philosophy was the Atom concept. Its name, suggesting the smallest, most irreducible unit of matter, perfectly matched the design goal, stripping the sports car down to its fundamental components. The design was based on the premise that every component must perform multiple functions or be eliminated entirely. The exposed chassis serves as the primary crash structure, the mounting point for all components, and the aesthetic identity of the car. Early prototypes, developed throughout the late 1990s, used various small displacement engines, including those from Rover. The focus during this phase was less on raw horsepower and more on perfecting the chassis dynamics, suspension geometry, and braking performance. The key to the Atom's eventual global appeal lay in its power-to-weight ratio. By targeting an incredibly low overall weight, initially around 500 kilograms, Ariel ensured that even modest power output would result in supercar rivaling acceleration. The academic background allowed Saunders and his team to employ cutting-edge computer-aided design and stress analysis, ensuring the seemingly fragile exoskeleton was in fact incredibly strong and rigid, essential for precise track handling. The manufacturing process was set up to be highly artisanal and customizable. Ariel operates out of a small facility in Crewkerne, Somerset, employing a small team of highly skilled technicians who hand-build each car to specific customer order. This highly personalized approach meant that every Atom was essentially a bespoke creation, a direct contrast to the mass production lines of their competitors. This exclusivity immediately appealed to discerning driving enthusiasts. By the turn of the millennium, the Atom was ready for its public unveiling. Its appearance was shocking, provocative, and instantly iconic. It looked less like a traditional car and more like a high-performance insect or a Formula race car without bodywork. The final design choice that cemented the Atom's future was the selection of its powertrain. Recognizing that reliable, high-revving power was crucial, Ariel made the pivotal decision to partner with Honda for its engines, a choice that guaranteed the car's longevity and performance credibility. The early Atom prototypes using Honda power demonstrated a fundamental truth: the combination of extreme lightness and Japanese engineering reliability was explosive. This allowed the final production version to shed the last vestiges of compromise. The philosophy was clear: comfort, practicality, and weather protection were intentionally sacrificed to achieve unparalleled driver feedback and blistering speed. It was a vehicle for the purity of the driving experience, nothing more. The successful development phase concluded with the official market launch imminent. Ariel was ready to shock the automotive world with its uncompromising vision, proving that sometimes taking a massive step backwards in complexity is the only way to move performance forward. The stage was set for the Ariel Atom 1 to redefine what a performance car could be, delivering a visceral driving experience that no fully bodied supercar could hope to match. The age of the Ariel Atom was about to begin.
Following the intensive development period, the Ariel Atom 1 officially launched to the public in 2000. It was a defiant statement against the trend of heavier, safer, and more complicated sports cars. The initial launch models were powered by a Rover K-Series engine, producing around 120 horsepower. While this figure seemed modest, the car's crucial innovation was its weight, or lack thereof. At just under 500 kilograms, the power-to-weight ratio immediately rivaled high-end Porsches. The car was an instant sensation within the press and among dedicated driving enthusiasts. Its pure mechanical honesty, with the suspension components, engine and frame completely exposed, offered a level of visceral feedback that had been absent from modern automotive design. The Atom's exoskeleton chassis was not just an aesthetic choice, it was the entire car's structural core. Constructed from precision-welded, large-diameter steel tubes, it provided torsional rigidity that outperformed many production monocoque chassis, essential for track precision. The unique exposed design also dramatically improved driver safety, as the entire structure acted as a protective cage. Every customer had to undergo a fitting process, often with 4-point harnesses, reinforcing the car's roots as a purpose-built track tool. The Ariel team quickly recognized the need for a more powerful and reliable heart. In 2003, a pivotal change occurred. Ariel secured a critical partnership to exclusively use Honda's high-performance K-Series engines, marking the birth of the Ariel Atom 2. The K20A engine, sourced from the legendary Honda Civic Type R EP3 generation, was a revelation. Naturally aspirated, it delivered over 220 horsepower and featured Honda's highly advanced VTEC variable valve timing system, offering a thrilling high-revving soundtrack. With the K20A engine, the Ariel Atom 2's performance figures became truly astonishing. With a weight still hovering around 500 kilograms, the car could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 3.2 seconds, firmly entering genuine supercar territory at a fraction of the cost. This explosive combination of minimal weight and reliable high-power Japanese engineering catapulted Ariel onto the global stage. Demand immediately surged beyond Ariel's small-scale production capacity. The biggest moment of global exposure came in 2004, courtesy of the BBC program Top Gear. Jeremy Clarkson drove the Ariel 2, famously having his face severely distorted by the wind forces due to the lack of a windscreen, cementing the car's extreme image. The Top Gear feature acted as a monumental validation of Ariel's philosophy. It proved that in an era of digital filtering, there was a vast appetite for a machine that delivered a raw, undiluted, and almost terrifyingly fast experience. Ariel's commitment to continuous improvement was evident in the Ariel 2's subtle refinements. The chassis received minor geometry tweaks, and braking systems were upgraded, often incorporating race-spec components like braided lines and high-performance calipers. The suspension setup was a work of art in itself. Utilizing double wishbones and pushrod-actuated inboard dampers, usually sourced from Bilstein or Öhlins, the system kept the unsprung weight low and allowed for extremely precise tuning essential for track use. Ariel maintained its manufacturing approach. Every car was hand-built in the small Kreukern facility. This limited output to a few hundred units per year, reinforcing the car's exclusivity and ensuring meticulous quality control. The success of the Ariel Atom 2 led to international demand that the tiny UK factory could not satisfy. This prompted Ariel to explore licensing agreements to bring production closer to major markets, particularly the lucrative US performance market. By 2006, Ariel had secured a partnership with TMI Autotech to begin license production of the Ariel Atom 2 in the United States. This was a crucial step towards transforming Ariel from a niche British builder to a global performance brand. The development team began experimenting with more extreme power outputs, realizing that Ariel's chassis could handle far more than 220 horsepower. This research quickly led to the introduction of forced induction systems. The supercharged Ariel Atom 2, producing close to 300 horsepower, demonstrated the terrifying potential of the lightweight chassis. This variant provided acceleration that embarrassed virtually every road-legal vehicle of its time, pushing the power-to-weight ratio to truly insane levels. The Ariel Atom had successfully disrupted the global performance market. It proved that innovation wasn't about adding complexity, but about achieving clarity of purpose. It was the purest distillation of a race car, adapted to the road. By the time the Ariel Atom 2 phased out, Ariel had established itself as the builder of the most visceral and exciting track day weapon in the world. But the pursuit of lightness and speed was far from over, leading directly to the next era of supercharging and global growth. The success of the Atom 2 proved the fundamental principle of lightweight engineering. However, the hunger for greater speed, particularly in the competitive track day market, led Ariel to commit fully to forced induction for the next generation. The Ariel Atom 3, launched in 2007, represented an evolution, not a revolution. It retained the iconic exoskeleton design, but featured significant refinements to the chassis, suspension geometry, and powertrain integration, maximizing the potential of the Honda K20 engine. The pivotal development was making the supercharger a primary, factory-installed option. While the naturally aspirated 245 HP model remained available, the supercharged version, producing in excess of 300 horsepower, became the definitive Atom experience. The supercharged engine delivered power across the entire rev range, unlike the high RPM peakiness of the naturally aspirated VTEC unit. This provided immediate, brutal acceleration, further improving the 0 to 60 mph time to under 2.9 seconds, a true hypercar figure. To handle this immense power, Ariel continually upgraded its running gear. This included fitting stronger, high-performance limited-slip differentials, LSDs, upgraded clutch and flywheel assemblies, and optional race-spec braking systems from specialists like Alcon or AP Racing.
The Atom 3 also introduced subtle but important ergonomic improvements. These included a revised seating position, better switchgear, and a new digital dash display, enhancing the user experience without compromising the car's raw, stripped-down focus. Crucially, this era was defined by global expansion. The Ariel factory in Crewkerne, Somerset, simply could not meet the worldwide demand. The solution was the establishment of licensed production in the United States. In 2008, the U.S. operation, run by TMI Autotech in Virginia, began assembling the Atom 3 under license. This involved importing the core UK-fabricated chassis and pairing it with U.S.-sourced components, including locally sourced K20 engines, to meet domestic regulations. The establishment of the U.S. facility was a critical strategic move. It dramatically reduced delivery times for North American customers, allowing Ariel to solidify its position in the massive American track day market. The demand for customization grew alongside the production scale. Customers could now specify components, suspension types, example, adjustable dampers from Bilstein or Öhlins, tire compounds, and even the finish of the chassis, example, powder coating, making each atom truly bespoke. In 2010, Ariel introduced the Atom 3.5, a mid-cycle refinement that focused on aerodynamic and chassis rigidity enhancements. This included a redesigned frontal air intake and minor strengthening of the roll hoop structure. Aerodynamics on the Atom were always functional rather than aesthetic. The 3.5 introduced more aggressive wing options and diffusers, generating genuine downforce necessary to keep the lightweight car planted at high speeds. The 3.5 also saw the use of new electronic management systems, allowing for multi-mode engine mapping. This gave drivers the ability to switch between road-friendly power delivery and full attack track settings with the push of a button. Ariel maintained strict quality control across both the UK and US facilities. The core philosophy remained the same: minimal parts, maximum quality, and zero compromise on the driving experience. This period solidified the Atom's legacy as the ultimate track day weapon. It routinely beat cars costing 5 to 10 times its price in track contests and acceleration tests, proving the superiority of the power-to-weight philosophy. The Atom's uncompromising nature meant it remained a highly specialized vehicle. It was a secondary, weekend toy for enthusiasts, not a daily driver. But this niche market was loyal and rapidly growing. The technical challenges of integrating high-boost forced induction systems into the small exposed chassis were immense, requiring advanced cooling and intake strategies that Ariel's small engineering team mastered. The success of the Atom 3 and 3.5 prepared Ariel for its next major creative leap. Having conquered the asphalt with the ultimate lightweight road-legal race car, the company began looking for a new frontier of minimalism. The question shifted from how fast can we go on the track to how versatile can a stripped-down vehicle be? This thought process led Ariel away from smooth asphalt and towards rugged off-road terrain. The Atom was a phenomenal success, but Ariel recognized that its core engineering philosophy could be applied to entirely new forms of driving. This pursuit of minimal complexity in a maximum number of environments would soon give birth to the Atom's rugged off-road sibling, the Ariel Nomad.
Having achieved global renown by mastering the lightweight track car formula with the Atom, Ariel faced a pivotal strategic choice: either refine the Atom further or apply its core philosophy, minimalism equals performance, to an entirely new domain. The answer came in the form of an anomaly, the Ariel Nomad. This project, initiated around 2013, sought to translate the Atom's exposed, stripped-down excitement from the smooth asphalt of a racetrack to the harsh, unpredictable terrain of the off-road world. The Nomad was not merely an Atom with bigger tires, it was a comprehensive re-engineering effort. It retained the principle of the exposed tubular exoskeleton, but the frame was significantly strengthened and redesigned to withstand the massive torsional stress inherent in extreme off-roading. The chassis geometry was radically altered. The Nomad features a much higher ride height, increased ground clearance, and revised approach and departure angles, allowing it to tackle obstacles that would instantly halt any traditional sports car. The key technological difference was the suspension system. Utilizing massive long-travel suspension components, typically high-performance adjustable dampers from brands like Öhlins or Bilstein, the Nomad could absorb immense shocks and maintain tire contact over severely uneven ground. Ariel again turned to Honda for the powertrain, ensuring reliability under grueling conditions. The Nomad was launched with a highly reliable, naturally aspirated K24 2.4-liter iVTEC engine from the Accord CR-V family in its base form. The K24 engine, while slightly less frantic than the K20 of the Atom, offered superior low-end torque, essential for crawling over rocks and punching out of soft sand. Its output was typically around 235 horsepower. Given its off-road focus, the Nomad's drivetrain was simplified to rear-wheel drive, RWD, paired with a sophisticated limited-slip differential. This configuration maximized lightness and ensured the car remained agile and highly engaging, true to Ariel's ethos. However, staying true to its performance DNA, the Nomad also offered a supercharged option, boosting power to around 300 horsepower. This transformed the buggy into a high-speed desert racer capable of astonishing acceleration on loose surfaces. The bodywork, though minimal, featured reinforced roll hoops, integrated skid plates, and provisions for essential off-road gear like a spare tire mount and auxiliary lighting. It looked like a Mad Max vehicle purpose-built for fun. The Nomad was officially unveiled in 2015 to immediate critical acclaim. The press praised its duality. It was rugged enough to tackle rough trails, but still offered the same raw, exposed sensory experience as the Atom on the road. Its high-speed off-road stability was remarkable, a direct result of Ariel's painstaking work on suspension geometry. The long wheelbase and advanced damping allowed the car to float over terrain that would destabilize conventional SUVs. The manufacturing process remained identical to the Atom. Each Nomad was hand-built in the small Crew Kearns Somerset facility, allowing for a high degree of customer customization, from specialized suspension setups to Dakar-style equipment. The introduction of the Nomad expanded Ariel's market beyond just track day enthusiasts to include adventure seekers, rally competitors, and drivers looking for a highly versatile, year-round performance toy. The U.S. production partner, TMI Autotech, quickly integrated the Nomad into its licensed assembly, ensuring the unique off-road machine was available to the vast American market, where dune buggies and off-road racing are highly popular. The Nomad proved that Ariel's less is more philosophy was fundamentally sound and transferable. By minimizing weight and complexity, the car could dedicate its resources entirely to achieving its primary goal: maximum fun regardless of the surface. The simultaneous production of the Atom 3.5 and the Nomad positioned Ariel as a company of engineering extremists, masters of two entirely different performance environments using a unified philosophical approach. The success of the Nomad stabilized Ariel's finances and allowed the company to invest heavily in the next generation of its original icon, the Ariel Atom 4. The Atom was now due for its most significant redesign in nearly 2 decades. The core K20-K24 engine architecture was aging, and a radical chassis update was needed to meet increasing performance and safety expectations. The Nomad had successfully diversified Ariel's portfolio and secured its future. The stage was now set for the biggest evolutionary leap in the company's history, the launching of the technically complex and comprehensively new Ariel Atom 4.
By 2017, Ariel recognized that, despite its cult status, the Atom platform needed a radical overhaul. The original K20-K24 engine architecture was nearing the end of its life cycle, and new performance standards demanded a comprehensive redesign. The result was the Ariel Atom 4, launched in 2018. This was the biggest redesign in the model's history, with only a few non-structural components carried over from the Atom 3. It represented a fusion of the original minimalist ethos with modern engineering standards. The core of the redesign was the new chassis. While retaining the iconic exoskeleton look, the new frame utilized larger diameter main and diagonal tubes and featured entirely new geometry. This increased torsional rigidity by a claimed 15%, significantly improving handling precision. The pivotal change came under the hood, the switch to the modern, turbocharged Honda K20C engine, sourced directly from the FK8 Honda Civic Type R. This engine represented a massive leap forward in power and efficiency. The K20C, coupled with a bespoke Ariel tuning and cooling system, delivers a base output of 320 horsepower at a massive surge of torque available lower in the rev range. This power, pushing the car's weight of around 595 kilograms, resulted in a 0 to 60 mile-per-hour time of just 2.8 seconds. The addition of turbocharging fundamentally changed the Atom's dynamic driving. While the high-revving VTEC scream was replaced by a more refined whoosh, the unrelenting, effortless torque made the Atom 4 a far faster and more accessible car to drive aggressively. Aerodynamics were a key focus. The Atom 4's redesign included a completely new bonnet, side pods, and air intake systems. These changes were engineered to increase downforce, improve cooling efficiency, and manage airflow with greater precision than any previous generation. The suspension system was also completely new. Utilizing bespoke inboard adjustable dampers and redesigned wishbones, the geometry was optimized for the new chassis stiffness and the increased power, offering a remarkable blend of track capability and road compliance. Crucial improvements were made to driver ergonomics and safety. The Atom 4 introduced a new digital display unit developed specifically for Ariel, offering customizable screens for road, track, and data logging. For the first time, Ariel integrated electronic driver aids, albeit minimal ones. The Atom 4 came standard with a modern traction control system and a multi-stage launch control feature, both essential for managing the turbocharged engine's instantaneous torque. The manufacturing process in Crewkern received upgrades to handle the new chassis and components. Despite the modernization, the cars remained hand-built, ensuring that Ariel's commitment to artisanal quality was maintained alongside the technical advancements. The Atom 4 proved to be a critical and commercial success. Reviewers praised its incredible speed,
but also the fact that it felt like a refined, grown-up machine, yet still delivered the unfiltered, raw excitement that defines the Ariel brand. The production of the Atom 4 further cemented the relationship with U.S. partner TMI Autotech, which continued to build the Atom under license for the North American market, adhering to the updated UK specifications and safety standards. This success also allowed Ariel to introduce new variants of the Nomad, incorporating the lessons learned from the Atom 4 chassis and further refining the off-road model with more advanced suspension packages and reinforced roll cages. The philosophy of customization reached new heights. Customers ordering the Atom 4 or Nomad could specify everything from custom spring rates to bespoke chassis colors and advanced safety equipment, reinforcing the bespoke nature of Ariel ownership. The Atom 4 secured Ariel's relevance for the next decade. By embracing turbocharging and modern chassis engineering, while resisting the urge to add heavy comforts, Ariel proved that performance minimalism remains a timeless formula. However, the automotive world was on the cusp of another seismic shift: electrification. Ariel, known for its small, high-output internal combustion engines, was once again forced to look toward a radical, new solution for its long-term future. The challenge was immense: how to apply the principles of lightness and simplicity to the inherent weight and complexity of a battery-electric powertrain. Ariel's answer had to be unconventional, extreme, and uncompromising. This internal exploration led to the genesis of a project that would move Ariel from specialist sports car builder to a cutting-edge technological innovator. A project that would redefine the term hypercar. The Atom 4 was the pinnacle of Ariel's combustion engine era, but the company was already betting on a radical, electrified future, ensuring that the legacy of minimal mass and maximum performance would continue into the electric age.
Having perfected the internal combustion hyper-lightweight car, Ariel looked toward the future. The challenge was immense. How could a company whose entire philosophy is built on lightness embrace the inevitable weight of batteries required for electrification? Ariel's response was predictably radical. Instead of building a direct electric successor to the Atom, they chose to leapfrog the market, developing a revolutionary high-performance electric vehicle known as the Ariel Hypercar, high-performance electric race car. Announced in 2017 and later detailed as a prototype, the Hypercar represents Ariel's commitment to applying its minimalist engineering to the electric era. The vehicle's architecture is built around an aluminum monocoque structure, providing exceptional rigidity and crash protection. The Hypercar's power delivery is extreme. It uses a system of 4 electric motors, one at each wheel, making it an advanced all-wheel drive AWD machine. The system delivers a total output exceeding 1,180 horsepower, or 880 kilowatts, and 1,800 newton-meters of torque. The performance figures are astonishing. A target 0 to 100 miles per hour, or 0 to 160 kilometers per hour time of just 4.4 seconds, and a blistering 0 to 60 miles per hour time under 2 seconds, placing it in the upper echelon of global electric hypercars. To mitigate the weight of the battery pack, typically around 62 kilowatt-hours, Ariel introduced a cutting-edge solution for range anxiety: a small, high-output micro-turbine range extender. This compact, lightweight turbine, operating like a jet engine, acts purely as a generator. It kicks in to charge the battery when necessary, allowing the car to maintain continuous performance without relying solely on the grid.
This design minimizes battery size and maximizes performance relative to weight. The Hypercar project not only ensures Ariel's future relevance, but also provides a platform for developing advanced electric powertrain and thermal management systems that can be trickled down into future, more road-focused models. Despite the technological complexity of the Hypercar, the company's foundational philosophy remains intact. Ariel continues to emphasize driver engagement, transparency, and minimal vehicle mass relative to the power output. Ariel's business model remains fiercely independent. Production of all models, Atom 4, Nomad, and eventually Hypercar, will continue to be hand-built in the Crewkern facility, preserving the brand's boutique quality and exclusivity. The enduring legacy of Ariel is its cultural impact. The Atom redefined what a sports car could be, influencing countless imitators and proving that simplicity is the ultimate performance tool. Nomad showed that the philosophy was versatile across terrains. Ariel succeeded not by competing with the giants on volume, but by establishing a singular niche defined by visceral experience. They sell a raw sensation, a direct connection between driver, machine, and road that few others can replicate. The story of Ariel is a celebration of British engineering ingenuity, a small team with an enormous impact, reminding the entire industry that sometimes the most sophisticated solution is the one that leaves the most behind. From the exposed chassis of the Atom 1 to the 1180 horsepower electric surge of the Hypercar, Ariel has remained true to its core, the unrelenting pursuit of lightweight performance. Ariel Motor Company has not just survived the modern automotive era, it has thrived by building the antidote to complexity, ensuring the pure joy of driving will never be lost.
The journey of Ariel is a remarkable tale of minimalism meeting maximum performance. But which Ariel model defines the brand for you? The raw Atom, the rugged Nomad, or the futuristic Hypercar? Let us know your favorite Ariel and why in the comments below. We love reading your thoughts on these engineering extremists. If you were captivated by the story of this uncompromising British builder, please take a moment to like this video and share it with a fellow gearhead. And to follow more exclusive deep dives into the automotive world's most unique and innovative brands, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.